Hello friends, welcome back to another episode of Cat Yarn Studios. I'm Kat. On this channel we talk about things like our lives, whatever's on my mind, feelings, therapy, self-improvement, peace, inner peace, teaching, education, kids. Whatever happens to come up, love. Love is a main theme, friends, okay? Here we are. I've been spinning this braid of merino wool and silk. It's a blend. I explained at the beginning that merino is a very common wool to, I'd never explained this, but I'm explaining now. Merino is a very common wool to use for spinning. It's very nice in terms of the microns, how fine the fibers are, and therefore how soft the wool is. It's a very fine wool, so it doesn't feel like, you might think of wool as being very scratchy, and sometimes it is, depending on the breed of the sheep. So merino is the type of sheep that this comes from, and then it's blended with some silk, which gives it this beautiful sheen. Silk picks up the dye differently, and so it just creates a very lovely, interesting yarn to look at. So I'm enjoying this. This would be a really nice project for like a cowl, something that goes around your neck, or just something that you might want next to the skin, something soft, a nice scarf or a little shawl or something, although I'm spinning it kind of thick for a shawl necessarily. Anyway, what's on my mind today? I wanted to talk about feelings. Feelings are really important. And I think they've been really stripped of their importance in our lives, in this culture and in this society. I really think it has to do with how we view women. And when I say that, I mean, you know, each of us has a feminine and a masculine part, and then we show up in the world in a certain way, some combination of the two on some spectrum, right? You can think of the binary sort of spectrum. It's a spectrum with sort of the feminine, masculine on either end, but we all contain each of those parts of us. But for a long time in this world, we've suppressed the feminine, we've taken away her power, we have you know, taken away her rights and abused her. And same with Earth, right? That's the same way that we treat the Earth, as just a resource to be taken from somebody that you can just abuse and violate and not give a second thought to. That's obviously not how it works, right? When we put energy out, it goes somewhere and it continues going places. That's the idea of karma, is the idea of this wind of energy, of actions reverberating and creating other actions. So we devalue our feelings. You know, we think that they're the weaker part of us, that they're sort of this childish thing, that they are immature, and that people who show emotions are weak and should not be trusted, and that the goal is to, you know, sort of stand up as a professional, be cold and unfeeling, and get the business done, you know. And look at where that's gotten us, you know. And yet the feelings don't go anywhere, they just go underground, and then they pop out in horrible ways. You know, when we aren't allowed to express how we actually feel, when our feelings aren't validated, when they aren't given light, even to ourselves, right? When we believe the message that they are not good, we need to shove them down, they are not important, and I shouldn't be having them anyway, right? Rather than looking at them and saying, oh, I feel this way, this is how I feel, and what can I do about it? What is the message? What is the action that I need to take based upon this information that I'm getting, right, from my body? I'm just letting this wave of feeling roll over me. I don't have real words that they're not really coming up, but I'm feeling things about this, right? I think about myself as a child who, I mean, here's the thing, I'm a Pisces, right? That's the 12th house in the zodiac. It is the deep waters. It's the final sign that contains all other signs. It is a feeling deep, deep water. I'm the fish that swims in the ocean. I have no armor except for scales. I feel it all, right? And I feel it all, and it's really important that I not undervalue that. My goal isn't to overcome my feelings, you know? Certainly I don't want to use them in a way that's harmful, right? But I believe that they are power. Think about the power of the ocean, the power of water. It shaped this entire land. The Grand Canyon, think about that, right? Over eons, and how water shapes everything, how it moves and how powerful it is. Think about the ocean and its power, right? We don't devalue those things. We don't devalue that. That is so valuable and so worth getting to know and so worth getting to harness, right? That's where our art comes from too, is from our feelings. If we allow ourselves to express them in a certain way, right? If we give them a release, like when I work on my painting, it is a real physical process for me of moving feelings, and I am seeing and choosing intuitively the colors that I use. I am seeing that vibration of energy, right? And how each color is different. And then I get to physically manipulate it and change it with my feelings, right? With my body. It's a very visceral process, and it really is a processing. It helps me get through it, right? So when I'm having a feeling, which we all do all the time, I can find a way to express it that's appropriate, and that will help me alchemize it and move it along and move it through to its fullest expression so that it can pass through like a wave of feeling, like a wave of energy, right? Emotion. An emotion is energy in motion. It is energy in your body, and we need to find ways to express it. All right, friends, let's look at what we've spun, where we're at with it. We're doing pretty well. It's coming along. This is all that we have left, which is gonna go by before too long. All right, friends, be well, and we will talk soon. Keep creating, and I love you very much. I mean that. All right, take care. Bye-bye.